from the most watched station in Central Texas. This is KWTX News 10.
What happened here this morning is a tragic event. We're fortunate our officers are okay. We're very fortunate that the family members in that home are okay. But the important thing to remember here this morning is that a family has lost a loved one.
The Waco Police Department and the Texas Rangers are investigating an officer-involved shooting. The suspect died this morning. We've been closely following this developing story all day long. Continuing our coverage tonight, our News 10's Keisha Lopez. She is live from the scene to tell us exactly what happened. And News 10's John Carroll live here in our studio with neighbors' reactions to all of this. Keisha, let's start with you. What have we learned so far?
Hey there, Justin. Well, this street is much quieter now that the Waco crime scene technicians have wrapped up gathering their evidence after this morning's officer-involved shooting at a home right behind me. So Waco police say that they received a call, a 911 call, about a domestic disturbance at 3825 Spade Avenue. The caller said a man armed with a knife was holding the family hostage. Police say that there were 5 people, including the suspect, inside the home. A relative fired a warning shot inside the home before police arrived to keep the suspect back. 3 officers responded to this scene. 2 went inside and 1 was in the yard. Authorities say that both the officers and that family member with the gun had pleaded with the suspect to put the knife down. A woman who spoke with the father of the suspect says that the suspect with the knife lunged toward the officer, and that's when he was shot.
He didn't put it down. The officer felt threatened and discharged his firearm. The suspect went down, and the officers immediately started calling for medical aid for that individual.
Of course, Waco police are investigating this case along with the Texas Rangers. No, police have not released any information about the suspect, only that he had a criminal past. Now, none of the family members were hurt. They were able, the others, to get out of the house. Police helped them out. Now, what made this story interesting is, and it could have made it worse, the situation worse, is that police say that the 911 caller warned them that there was already someone inside armed with a gun. You can imagine the situation was very tense this morning, and you can see behind me a lot of the homes on this street are very small. So we're talking about a very confined space and a tense situation. Live here in Waco, Keisha Lopez, KWTX News 10.
Keisha, thank you. And neighbors were obviously completely stunned about what happened. The man who was shot and killed, we know, was the son of a Beverly Hills church pastor. News 10's John Carroll joined us now live with reaction to that police-involved shooting. John.
Well, Justin, KWTX has learned that the man who owns the home in the 3800 block of Spate where the shooting happened is the pastor of a small church called Word of God Ministries, and that it was his son who had become violent this morning before being shot by police with a knife. He was holding a knife when the police shot him. Neighbors and friends were shocked. 2 small churches called Word of God and Amazing Grace Ministries had joined together to meet in this small building on Memorial Drive, just blocks from where the shooting happened. The pastor of one of those ministries is Rick Resendez. The home where the altercation took place is listed in the name of Richard Resendez. Church members confirmed that he's Pastor Rick, the father of the man shot. When we checked at the church, no one was there this afternoon, but one of the members of the church and the co-pastor spoke with our KWTX crew on the scene this morning. Little was known at the time, but the neighbors I talked with today said the Resendez family is a good and kind one, but few knew there had been problems with one of the sons off and on for years.
The minister, and I just came to over here when I got word about the family, and I wanted just to try to see what's going on.
But I know that 5 family members of Resendez's family lived in that home. And I don't know, they just said that it was a disturbance inside the home is all I know.
Late this afternoon, all was quiet in the neighborhood, and several doors we knocked on, the people just did not want to talk. News 10 has reached out to church members who are not commenting on the situation, and the place where the suspect listed on his Facebook page as his place of employment said he had not worked there for quite some time. We'll have more on this story at 6. Reporting live in the studio, John Carroll, KWTX News 10.
Thank you, John. And turning now to the weather, Sean Bellafiore is keeping an eye on what could be an active night weather-wise. Sean, what?
Well, Justin, over the next couple of hours, of course, many Central Texans are going to be leaving to go out for Friday evening activities, but you definitely need to keep your eyes on the skies over the next couple of hours. We've already started to see some thunderstorms fire up along the dry line, which is in our far western counties just now to the west of San Saba and Mills County. Thunderstorms have just recently started to fire off within the last 30 minutes, and these storms are moving their way towards the Goldthwaite area right now. The storms that are moving into Mills County currently are not severe, only a few lightning strikes, some heavy rain, and maybe some up to about, I would say, pea-sized hail as this moves into Goldthwaite. That's about it right now, but you can see on our Goldthwaite camera that skies are darkening. And as we move a little bit farther up towards the north, also another very weak thunderstorm just to the west of Copperell, but a severe thunderstorm warning moving away from Central Texas. This thunderstorm near Glen Rose once again moving itself away. Zooming it out wide, not really too much happening on Doppler 10 radar outside of those thunderstorms that are firing up along the dry line right now, but more thunderstorms are going to be firing up over the next couple of hours. And of course, we still do have a tornado watch in place for parts of Central Texas. All these counties shaded in red under a tornado watch until 10 o'clock this evening. But another severe thunderstorm watch may actually be issued for counties south of Highway 84 within the next hour or two. Your hour-by-hour forecast for the early part of our evening. Temperature is going to be staying in the 80s until thunderstorms start to roll their way on through. 30% chance of rain by 6 p.m., gradually ramping up to a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms from 7 p.m. through 10 p.m. before those rain chances start to fall. Let's get you out the door for your early evening activities. Note those thunderstorms firing up along the dry line, and we're going to continue to see more thunderstorms move their way towards I-35 between about 7 and 8 p.m., but more rain and thunderstorms moving their way east through about midnight tonight. I'll have more on the developing thunderstorms outside right now and a look at the weekend forecasts coming up in about 15 minutes.
A lot going on there, Sean. Thank you. 4 people are behind bars after authorities raided another Central Texas massage parlor. We first brought you this on our KWTX app today. Officers raided the Great Massage off Highway 190 in Coppers Cove yesterday. Police say a resident tipped them off. Sharif Barnett, Kelvin John, Shiyun John, and Shun John are all facing prostitution charges. This is the 4th massage parlor raid in Central Texas over the last several months. And an Academy ISD staff member was arrested today on inappropriate relationship charges. The superintendent notified parents in a letter which did not identify the man, but we know Gus Bowershausen was booked into the Bell County Jail around 1 this afternoon. He is the high school softball coach and taught world history. He led the Lady Bees to the 3A state softball championship last year. 2 people are recovering after a rollover in Waco that happened on a ramp off Highway 6 in front of the Central Texas Marketplace around 8 this morning. Police say the driver fell asleep at the wheel and the car veered off the ramp and rolled over. 2 people were taken to the hospital, but police say they should be okay. 1 person is dead after a rollover in Lacey Lakeview that happened last night at New Dallas Highway in Loop 340. We know 2 trucks were involved, and one of them rolled over but was turned back upright. It's not clear which truck that victim was in, though. Killeen ISD is looking to hire hundreds of new teachers for the 2018-2019 school year. Coming up at 6, we'll tell you more about the job fair the district is hosting tomorrow and what you need to do to apply. Still ahead on News 10 at 5, it was a homecoming for a hero. A goodbye to a Vietnam War veteran, 52 years in the making. Hear from his daughter, who lives in Central Texas. And a young Central Texas entrepreneur lands a big-time honor. Julie Hayes has the details on the China Spring student coming up in today's Tell Me Something Good. For the latest on these stories and much more, go to KWTX.com and our social media platforms. We're back after this.